What is it that's holding you back, keeping you from becoming everything that God has created you to be, living your purpose and reaching your destiny? Is it self doubt, feeling that you don't measure up to others? Perhaps it's fear or lack of resources, offenses and challenges, maybe even past or current circumstances. Well, I want you to know that these are pathologies, diseases of the mind that negatively impact how you think and perceive things that invade your everyday life. You can overcome these peculiarities and become conquerors, living in the purpose that God has for your life. The Bible in Philippians 4:13 teaches us, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Hello, I'm your coach Dee Johnson, and I'm going to share with you on how you can overcome these pathologies and be all that God created you to be on today's Watering the Seed. Measuring your abilities against someone else's, especially those that you glorify as heroes, is self destructive. If you exalt those whom you admire over yourself, then you eliminate yourself. Your heroes are people just like you. They possess or have possessed many, if not all, of the idiosyncrasies as fear, self doubt, negativity from others, offenses, and complications, to name a few. They have possessed many of these pathologies just as you, and they have overcome them, empowering themselves to become conquerors. If you haven't listened to Watering the Seed Empowerment Part 1, Escaping the Prison of Your Making, I strongly encourage that you do. In that episode, I shared a short story about my hero and icon, Anime Bullock, aka Tina Turner, and how she started out with a broken home, abusive marriage, and life-threatening health crisis, and how she overcame them and achieved maximum success spreading music that brought generations together, and that music still lives on today. And with that said, in this episode, we'll be exploring the idea of hold us back from living in our own purpose. You know, we often look up to certain individuals, celebrities, leaders, even friends who we see as heroes. And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing, when we put them on a pedestal, we tend to diminish our own worth. So let's unpack that on today's Watering the Seed. Hello, everyone. I'm your life coach, Dee Johnson, and today we're going to explore embracing your inner hero and overcoming self doubt and comparison. Where social media showcases seemingly perfect lives and accomplishments, it's all too common to find ourselves measuring our self-worth against others, especially those who we idolize as heroes. And for many of us, these types of comparisons can become self-destructive leading us to doubt our own abilities and develop low self-esteem. It's important to recognize that our heroes are not distant figures on a pedestal. Believe it or not, they are in many ways just like us. Think about it. We glorify these figures because of their achievements, their courage, or maybe their charisma. But what we forget is that they're people just like us. They face fears, doubts, and disapproval from people that they trust, like family and close friends, as well as outsiders such as peers and fans. Challenges just like you and me. In fact, many have shared their stories of struggle and how they overcame the obstacles that felt undefeatable. So, in that respect, we are no different, but let's talk about why we shouldn't compare ourselves to our heroes or anyone else for that matter. To my talks, you know that I enjoy sharing stories. I do this because I want you to understand that I too have faced many challenges that might resonate with what some of you are currently experiencing, and I have found ways to overcome many of those obstacles. Not all, but many. I'm still to overcome many of those obstacles. Not all, but many. I'm still navigating my own path of learning, and it's crucial to realize that life is filled with new, diverse experiences every single day. And for as long as we live, we will encounter a colorful quilt of experiences. We will encounter a colorful quilt of experiences that are specifically meant for our personal growth and for our guiding others. Therefore, we never stop learning. The journey of learning never truly ends. So I'll always have a comparative story to tell you, one of my real life stories. So, growing up in my family home, a house with a fairly large family of 10, 8 of which were children, including myself, I quickly learned that although we had lots of things in common, same parents, same house rules, same value system, same house rules, same value system, same church, same relatives, even some of the same friends. And yet, with all of those same things, we were very different. My younger brother and I shared a gift that was, well, we were artsy. We both could draw. That was, well, we were artsy. We both could draw. We like to draw. This was not something that was taught to us. It was a natural gift, a God given gift. We were born with it. I was born first, so hey, I had the gift first. Just a little sibling rival, though. See how I did that? Anywho, we quickly learned that even though we both shared this gift, we had our own individual style of drawing, which made the finished product look very different. One day, we decided to have a drawing contest, and the character that we used to popular tiger character from a popular brand of cereal. As children at that time, around the age of 9 and 10 years old, we would sit and read the back of the cereal box while we ate the breakfast cereal. So this one particular day, we decided to have this contest, and when we were done, we asked friends and family which drawing looked the best. This mattered because as children, we're taught to compete, but as an adult, I learned that it's not about which one is the best. It's about doing your best. And if you've done your best, then that makes it the best. Where outsiders come in or their opinion comes into play is simply about preference, basically what one prefers, at least in this scenario. So we tallied up the votes, and my brother collected the most votes, or in the lingo of our digital age, he received more likes. So he'd won the contest. Initially, this led me to a false conclusion that his artistic gift was better than mine. And this planted seeds of self doubt regarding my own creative talents, even at that tender age of 10. However, however, this notion was short lived thanks to the early lessons of wisdom from my supportive dad and the encouragement from my neighbor's grandparents, Miss Ada. Our neighbor grandmother, she would babysit with us, with us. So thank you, Miss Ada. She's no longer with us, but thank you. So you see, they taught me to embrace and value my unique ability. So despite the difference in likes, I maintained confidence in my artwork, continuing to draw whenever I felt the urge, which I now sanctuary for my relaxation and self-expression. I've come to understand that it wasn't a matter of my brother's drawing being better than mine, but rather that the audience we had simply preferred his style over mine, a preference that is entirely subjective and acceptable. A preference that is entirely subjective and acceptable. It's perfectly okay. And for me, this realization has highlighted the importance of taste in art and that it resonates differently with each individual as would any other gift. I share the same talent as your hero, but believe that you're not as good as them. And I want you to know that it's not about you being as good as the person or persons you admire, but more about being authentically you. God didn't make them better than you. They're not created better than you, just different. About their authenticity that you happen to admire. So they inspire you to explore your gift, and that's okay. As long as you understand that they are no different than you, and if you want to be successful, you have the potential to be that by just being you. Being your authentic, being you. Being your authentic true self. Where you make your mistake is where I made mine with my younger brother, and that is comparing his gift of drawing with my gift of drawing. When you compare your skills and abilities and gifts with someone else's, you're making a huge mistake. And this can render you powerless, losing sight of your inner hero. When we put our heroes on a pedestal, we tend to overlook their struggles, not realizing that they have faced the same fear, self doubt. Everyone has their battles. Those we admire for their achievements were once individuals and still may be overcoming personal challenges, including offenses and complications that life threw their way. Uh, by glorifying our heroes, we inadvertently undermine our own potential. Achieve what they have, or I am not as talented or intelligent. This kind of thinking eliminates our unique qualities and capabilities. And instead of empowering ourselves, we set limitations on ourselves based on perceived inadequacies. So take inadequacies. So take Beyonce and Lizzo. Those are two popular figures in pop culture currently. They are both superstars and beautiful, attractive Black women. Each has her own following, and while they both face criticism, their challenges are quite different. Beyonce has mastered the art of navigating her challenges with such style and grace that it's hard to tell she's affected at all. Meanwhile, Lizzo, who is newer to the celebrity scene, is learning to navigate her own challenges. Lizzo has faced criticism for her confidence as a full figured woman who embraces her sexuality and authenticity. Ultimately, what made Lizzo famous is her commitment to being her true self and sharing that with the world, which resonates with many people who share her perspective. Loving yourself. If you decide to size down, do it because you want to, not because of what others think. Stay true to yourself. That's who you are, and that's what people appreciate. Another common mistake people make is trying to mimic heroes. Mimicking your hero can seem like a shortcut to success, but it often leads to disappointment. Sure, it's tempting to copy their style or decisions, thinking it'll bring you the same results. But here's the thing. Your hero's journey experiences, personality, timing, and also perhaps inherited through DNA. I learned that my dad was an artist, and maybe my brother and I inherited my dad's artistic gift. But we all have our own style. When you try to be a carbon copy of someone else, you might lose. When you try to be a carbon copy of someone else, you might lose sight of your own strengths and creativity. Also, this is considered stealing. Some call it borrowing, but really it's stealing. And you may get away with it for a short time, but you won't be able to maintain it, you being your authentic self. I'm reminded of a movie musical that my husband and I love to watch during the Christmas holiday season. It's called Jingle Jangle, starring the young Madeline Mills as the character Journey, and then Forrest Whitaker as Geronicus, Keegan, Felicia Rashad, she narrates the story as the now elder Journey. In the story, Gustafsson stole Geronicus's book of toy inventions that would have made him and his family very wealthy and sealed his legacy. But instead, his family lost everything. While Gustafsson thrived using Geronicus's invention and passing them off as his own. Eventually, the inventions ran out, and Gustafsson was left scrambling to make the next best toy, which led him back to his original source, which was Geronicus' invention shop. So he went back to steal from Geronicus once again. I'll let you watch it to find out how it how it ends, but the film emphasizes themes of hope. Son could never be what Geronicus was because Geronicus was authentically himself with all the personality, experiences, challenges, and support that helped him to exist. Gustafsson lacked these things, and eventually his mimicking Geronicus came to an end. Imitator, and instead of finding your own true power, you end up a phony, an imposter. Like Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley impersonators, there are some who do a very good job of impersonating these once in a lifetime artists, but as the saying goes, often imitate a lifetime artist, but as the saying goes, often imitated but never duplicated. It's way more rewarding to just take inspiration from your hero and blend it with your own vibe. So appreciate what they do, but don't forget to pave your own path. Your own path. It's crucial to remind ourselves that heroes are human. They too have faced fears and uncertainties. They felt the sting of failure and the weight of expectations. What set them apart, however, is not an absence of these challenges, but their willingness to acknowledging that our heroes has walked similar paths as us. We must also understand that we possess that same strength within ourselves. And this is what I want you to take away. This is what I want your takeaway to be. See, your hero has harnessed their struggles as fuel for growth and into fuel for resilience and growth. Instead of idolizing them, study their paths. What can you take away that fits into your journey? Apply those lessons to empower yourself. Each one of us has the ability to be our own hero, to break through obstacles and emerge stronger on the other side. Our own hero to break through obstacles and emerge stronger on the other side. So let's talk about how we can do just that, how we can empower ourselves. So, how do we shift this mindset and begin to embrace our inner hero? Here are a few tips to get you empowerment. Self reflection. Let's take some time to reflect on your journey. Ask yourself, what challenges have you faced? What strengths have you developed as a result of those challenges? For example, as I was working on this session, I reflected on the story I shared with you regarding my artistic challenge. I thought about the competition. I thought about how I felt in that moment as a child. I thought about the people who helped me get past that moment. And then I thought about how I used my gift class in college just to see what the instructor thought about my skills and to learn some new things if there was anything to learn. And just FYI, there are always new things to learn. No one knows everything there is to know about anything. So I learned a lot about different art, drawing versus paintings versus many other types of creative arts. I learned about different artists and what inspired them, which helped me to understand myself on a deeper level where my gift was concerned. I never shared any of my work with the public. I used solace from the busy life that I created around myself, and it works for me. Now that I have a better understanding, I believe my dad used his gift in the same way. My art became a catalyst for my strength in times when life overwhelmed. FYI, I got a B in that class, just in case you're curious. I don't believe anyone received an A actually, but that B stands for best because I did my best. My artwork was authentically me, and that, my dear, is good enough. And remember, those quirks you worry about, they make you unique. Your authenticity is your power. So just remember that. Recognizing your progress is essential for building self-worth. Okay? And then you need to set goals. Rather than aspiring to someone else's achievements, focus on setting and reaching personal goals. These should be realistic and meaningful to you, allowing for growth at your own pace. An example of this may be, say you made a New Year's resolution to lose weight because your favorite female sport athlete just had a baby 2 months ago and now is looking great as if she were never pregnant. Her clothes look good on her and she seems to be feeling as good as she looks. And you want to look and feel as good as she does. So you can have a personal trainer as she may have, or a nutritionist and personal cook to prepare your meals. Also, 2 months may not be a realistic goal for you to given your limitations where they may not have any. So 2 months for your hero, and that's all right. So let's say you set a personal goal to get fit and have some fun while doing it. Instead of just saying, I want or need to work out more, you could spice it up and say, I'm going to try a new outdoor activity every month. For example, a new outdoor activity every month. For example, January could be all about hiking a new trail. February could be trying out a Zumba class, and then March you could see yourself joining a local pickleball class, and so on. You'll also get to discover what you really enjoy. Plus, it's a great way to meet new people, soak up some sun, and commune with nature. And you're moving at your own pace, so to your own tolerance. So this could be a really way for you to good way for you to actively set your goal and meet them. And then you want to celebrate small wins. Every step forward is progress. So instead of saving all your celebrations for the big milestone, grand finale, acknowledge and celebrate the small forward is a testament to your resilience. Life is an incredible journey, and instead of reserving all your celebrations for the big milestones, recognize and celebrate those small victories every single day. Remember, those little wins are the building blocks of your success, and they deserve to be acknowledged. Imagine this. You wake up on Monday morning and you actually get out of bed before your alarm goes off. That's not just a win. That's worthy of a victory dance. At least it is for me. So blast your favorite song and dance like no one's watching. Own that moment. How about when you opt for the stairs instead of the elevator? Celebrate those muscles getting stronger with a burst of energy. You can even turn it into a mini workout with a self confident dance in your living room. I do this my dance in your living room. I do this myself. I recently finished taking down my holiday decorations and without realizing it, started dancing around my living room, busting moves I hadn't done in quite a few years. I mean, like more than 10 years. And I was being authentically me. No one was watching. I was dancing like no one was watching. I had forgotten that I love to dance. So, celebrating the small things can also help you rediscover yourself. At least it did for me. So, always remember to embrace the power to greater success, and you have every reason to celebrate. Every reason to celebrate. Share your victories with friends. Send them a funny GIF or shout out about it with a social media post. By sharing your wins, you amplify the joy and create a community that thrives on celebrating. Your wins, you amplify the joy and create a community that thrives on celebrating achievements, big or small. Every win counts, and you deserve to shine. And then you want to surround yourself with positivity. Engage with people who uplift and inspire you. This can be a real game changer. This can be a real game changer because their energy can be contagious and help you maintain a positive outlook. Positive relationships can help you diminish feelings of self doubt and reinforce your self worth. One of the things I do to keep me uplifted and in a positive mind are quotes, uplifting quotes, and affirmations. I write them on sticky notes and place them on my computer screen, on my desk, and I even purchased some popsicle sticks from the arts and crafts store. I painted them black and wrote special quotes on the front and back of the marker. I use them for my bookmarkers, and one of my favorite is failure to plan is planning to fail. And on the other side of the stick, I wrote, what's your plan? This reminds me that it's important to have a plan and to know what that plan is. It's important to have a plan and to know what that plan is. It helps me to keep in touch with my goals. And then gratitude journals. Start a gratitude journal where you write down things you're thankful for each day. This practice shifts your focus to the good things in life. And if you believe in manifesting your vision into your reality, mindful meditation. Incorporate daily meditation or mindless practices to center yourself and reduce stress. This helps clear negativity and fosters a positive mindset. I talk about this in Empowerment Part 1, Escaping the Prison of Your Making. Part 1, Escaping the Prison of Your Making. So if you haven't listened to that, please go back and listen to Empowerment Part 1, Escaping the Prison of Your Making, where I do discuss a little bit in more detail about mindful meditation. And then limit negative media consumption. Media you consume, whether it's news, social media, or TV shows. Opt for content that inspires and uplifts you and not the things that diminish your self confidence and devalue you. Engage in hobbies. Spend some time doing activities you love, those that will help you master your gift. I took an art class and went to a few art shows. If your gift is the gift of gab, you like to talk, and perhaps you want to be a radio personality, you may want to join a speech group like Toastmasters to assist you with your public speaking skills and build your public speaking confidence. And then volunteer work, helping others, really helping others through volunteer work can significantly enhance your sense of purpose and boost your mood. When you authentically give good things to the world without self serving expectations, good things return to you. So definitely look into some volunteer work that you can do, maybe at a community shelter or at your church, the schools. There's plenty of volunteer work out there. And then declutter your space. Clear physical clutter. A tidy environment creates a sense of serenity and allows for more positive energy to flow. Uh, God don't work in no mess. So clear your workspace, clean it out so that your energy can flow. You can have a clean and clearer thought by the clutter, which can be extremely distracting for some of us. And then listen to uplifting music. Hey, create a playlist of your favorite feel good songs. Music can dramatically shift your mood and infuse positivity into your day. While I was taking down my holiday decorations, I was actually listening to feel good music. It helped me stay on task and get it done really fast and effectively, which caused me to break out in a dance. I felt good that day, so I listened to some uplifting music and celebrate my small win, which was really big for me because my holiday decorations are excessive. And it usually takes me about a week to put them up and about 3 days to take them down and nice and neatly put them away. And I did this. Okay, and then surround yourself with colors. Utilize color decorations in your home or wardrobe. Bright colors stimulate happiness and enthusiasm. I tend to lean toward neutral colors, but when I want to boost my mood, I'll throw on some bright red or pink. And I just throw on some bright red or pink. And I just love my cartoon pajamas and slippers. So they make me feel all warm and fuzzy. So I do that on a daily just for my own self and comfort. So put on some bright colors. They make you feel good. And then some bright colors. They make you feel good. And then set positive intention. Begin each day by setting a positive intention. Decide how you want to feel and what you want to accomplish with a positive mindset. I start my day with Mel Robbins' High Five Habits. If you haven't heard about it, Robbins' High Five Habits. If you haven't heard about it, Google it. So, by surrounding yourself with an environment that fosters positivity, you enhance your overall quality of life, helping you to embrace your journey ahead, okay? Recognize that everyone struggles at times, and it's okay to not be perfect or to stumble. What matters is that you get back up. Embrace your uniqueness and be your own biggest supporter. You can start by affirmations. Develop a habit of speaking positive affirmations to your conversations can help boost your self-esteem. So remind yourself that you are enough and that you love being your authentic self. The way you wear your hair, the style of clothes, whatever it is about you that you like and things you don't like, they all make you uniquely who you are. Practice kindness. Small acts of kindness, whether towards yourself or others, can create ripples of positivity in your day to day life. A kind word or a gentle smile. No big deal. Nature time. Spend time in nature. Spend time in nature. Being outdoors can improve your mood and help you feel more connected and grounded. This reminds me of a story. I recall one day this past summer, I was on a power walk in the park and I noticed two older women, a teenage girl, maybe between 15 and 18 years old, and a younger girl, maybe 9 or 10. They were together but walking apart. The teen was walking maybe 25 feet in front of the two older ladies and the 9-year old was about 7 walking between the teenager and the two older ladies alone. One of the older ladies, who may have been the two younger girls' mother, was talking very badly to the teen, which made the situation uncomfortable for everyone. As I talking side by side, the lady who was obviously upset was really sounding off at the teen who was way ahead of her. So she had to speak very loudly in order for the young lady to hear her. As I was passing by, I said, "Good morning, ladies." And they both replied back. I said, "Good morning, ladies." And they both replied back, "Good morning." And then the mother, she didn't seem to care that she was in public or that there were other people around. She kept expressing her anger publicly while the other lady kept silent. The teen said something back to her, but it was very short and not very loud. I couldn't quite make out what she said, but clearly she was upset and embarrassed by this altercation. As I pat me with sadness, face looked pretty sad. Maybe perhaps because she didn't like that the two of them were in conflict. So when she looked up at me as I passed by, I smiled at her and said, "Hi, little one." She then smiled back at me and eased her uneasiness, if only for that moment. Then, as I caught up to the teen and began to pass her, I said, "Good morning." She said nothing. So once I got past her enough to see her face, I looked over my shoulder to get her attention again, and I said, "Good morning," and smiled. She said good morning as if to force it out. I then said to her, "Breathe, it'll be all right." She then smiled and took a deep breath and let it out. I went on my way. It's the simple things, really. It's the simple things that make the greatest impact. I didn't get involved, but my kind, calm approach or presence seemed to have calmed the situation. I didn't hear any that walk. The two ladies went on with a conversation that seemed to have had them laughing. I believe the little girl and her sister went to enjoy the park, the play area in the park. So my nature walk that day and showing kindness towards others really made me was able to pass on such positive energy to others. And it seemed to had calmed the situation and the circumstances. So telling that story makes me feel compassion. I feel that as I'm speaking about it right now. Yeah. So, okay, now if you feel that you can't get to a place of self-compassion, seek some professional help if needed. Sometimes speaking with a therapist or a counselor can help you navigate through negativity and develop a more positive outlook. Plus, you are free from judgment. It's a safe space. It's empowering to judgment. It's a safe space. It's empowering to remember that our heroes didn't just wake up one day as icons. They fought hard battles to get there or get where they are. And if they can conquer their difficulties, then so can you. In the end, measuring ourselves against our heroes can be a double-edged sword. It can either inspire us to reach for greatness or pull us into a pit of self-doubt. By recognizing our shared humanity with those we look up to and embracing our own journey, we can cultivate the resilience. I explained in my story about me and my brother. Over time, I've come to understand that art is subjective, and the audience's preference for my brother's style of art doesn't diminish my own. It's not about who's better, it's about personal taste, and that's something I've learned to respect. And you have the power to be your own hero, and your story is just as valuable as your hero's story and worthy of celebration. So embrace it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Have you ever found yourself idolizing someone to the point of feeling less than? To the point of feeling less than? Or maybe you've had an empowering moment that shifted your perspective. Share a short story or leave a comment. Remember, empowerment is a journey, and we're all on it together. So thanks. Thanks for joining me today, featuring your incredible self.